I want to talk to y'all really quickly. So I've been feeding the birds and whatnot. I've been doing a lot of major cleansings, and I'm part of one of the collectives that takes our spirituality as serious as I do breathing. Okay, we need breath to live, right? And I want to say some lessons that I learned over people that wanted to befriend you in order to use you, right? Okay, so I want to talk about this real quick. The people that you are holding on to are going to, they like to use you as experiments, and you've already discovered this. They will do any means necessary because they do not see you as human. They see you as an outlet, and they want to force you into a position whether you like it or not. And if they don't do it through victimization or through your empathy, then they do it through ostracizing, bullying, and insulting, and they'll get their way one way or another. And one thing that I realized is it took me receiving friends or understanding how to be in friendships without consistent bullying occurring or random hierarchy developing for no reason. Because everyone with a group of friends, not a friend group, a group of friends or a group of people that collectively decided that they think alike, right? And they want to share ideas on it. Everyone should be able to have a voice. And if we do not agree with those people's voices, I should not force myself onto that person. Okay. And I say all those things to say, I learned so much in toxic friendships and so I want to say something to you, okay? Especially you being the one that was actually the victim, not the person pretending to be the victim. I'm talking to you, the one that got everything done. The one, when people mess with you, how karma comes, why it comes, because you take it so serious. You have so much love in your heart. We already know this. And you need to protect yourself and transmute. So today, I was waiting for a sign, and I know some of the collective that was still having these lingering connections was waiting for a sign to finally essentially decipher, are they going to stay or are they going to leave? Is it time? And I know today, if you haven't gotten a sign, take this as your sign. If this resonates for you, if this is you, they're not going to change. They already chose a life of misery for the next 14 years. They insulted you. They ghosted you. And they're only showing up whenever they have a problem. You are being laughed at, bullied, and demonized, whether you're in their life or not. Okay? I kept asking myself, what was stopping me from hitting the block button? And I realized that I wanted to still be a great person, and explain myself or do a breakup text like I had done with my first longest friendship, ex-friendship for a reason, of 12 years. And that was a Capricorn. And my second friendship of 3.5 years was a Taurus. But the Capricorn was actually a Gemini rising, and the Taurus was actually a Virgo rising, right? Or I didn't check their Vedic astrology, but in Western astrology, right? So I understood that I was not just dealing with stubborn or long-term energy of Earth energy and Saturn energy as well. I was also dealing with transactional, energy, because both are transactional in different ways, essentially, right? If you look at the de-evolved versions, and I'm going to tell you something that, I don't like to default into culture or upbringing or psychology necessarily, but I do default into astrology because astrology is ever expansive and usually clicks everything together and gives you a guide for you to decipher enough, or you have generalizations to guide you and they point you in the right direction, but the rest of the synchronicities and the detail orientation of what's going on depends on your observance or your perception, how you're going to understand things, how you're going to also portray yourself. So the rising sign is one of the most important signs because it's the way that we manifest in this world. It's not our magic. It's not an understanding of our magic, but it is the gateway on how things become physical in this world for us, okay? Related to all of the other 11, signs and all of the other 11 sectors of, life in order for you to feel fulfilled or not fulfilled and why you don't feel fulfilled, basically. So it gives you a guide map, so that you're okay. And in my guide map, it told me, that I needed to understand self-love. And the journey in these friendships, these ex-friendships, and why they ended was because the more that they pushed me away and they told me exactly who they were from the beginning to the end, they never changed their minds. I was the one that kept giving them, chances. And I know that you were the one that was giving them chances. I know we were the ones that were giving them chances. And you were always the scapegoat. This is very significant. You were always the scapegoat. You were always the therapist. You were always the fix-it person. You were always the healer. And they only showed up when they were being ghosted, they were being ignored, and things were not happening right in their life. But whenever it came to their celebrations, they decided that they were going to hermit. And you weren't important enough to involve. And if they got bored in their peace and happiness, they are so miserable internally, they would create problems and then spin it around and make it your fault. Everything is your fault. And somehow that required you to bail them out of whatever ridiculousness that they got themselves into. None of this is true, but this is their logic, right? And on the other side, when you call them out and use their own tactics against them because they just keep raising the stakes and you keep auditioning to stay in their life, right? But you don't do that to them, and you don't hear from them otherwise, and because they are so obsessed with their men. Like, it's not the man. I mean, the men are the problem, not really, like 50%. They are who they are, whatever, but they were transparent from the beginning, so it's like I can't be mad at the men, right? But they pretended to be something that they were not. They got a pool of a bunch of blessings. You know, they were receiving a lot of good juju, and now they're actually trying to, because they're coming down, because they are leaving, because they've, you know, betrayed themselves, and because they've seen what it looks like to betray yourself, they went down the rabbit hole of finding the F out and realizing it sucks over here on the other side, because they were so hell-bent and they were absolutely sure that it was never going to happen to them and that they were forever and that they were living a dream and I was crazy and you were crazy. Well, they're receiving their karma because the illusion's up, because a 14-year transit finally ended, and now they're going to have to face all that they've laid out and created, understanding that they don't have you as a life support anymore. I'm tired of being a life support, and I know you are too. But what you were really learning in all this, the reason I bring all these up is just to see if it resonates with you. You finally understand why it's so important when spirit says that like you don't feel good about this issue, or you don't feel good about this person, or you don't feel good about this energy. You are going to trust yourself and move accordingly, and you're going to watch how much spirit is there for you, because you earned the rights of that, because you took yourself serious, because you are doing the things that they pretended to do. So now you walk with more trust, you walk with more faith, you walk with more confidence, and you're going to be seeing the blessings that are going to be coming your way, because now these people that you were keeping in your life can no longer suck the life essence, blessings, and destiny out of you, because they were energy vampires. And they thrived on literally feeding off you. They needed you, you didn't need them. And now they don't get to know who is their enemy and who's not their enemy while they play in your face any longer, because you finally removed yourself. I'm telling you right now, if you block them, it's okay. If you don't explain yourself, it's okay. If you are more freer and happier and more peaceful and you pay attention to your body and it's happy, it's okay. These are good things. Let me know in the comments if this resonates.